Hey everybody, welcome to Help Your Math. Today we're going to continue solving equations by factoring. Now we saw in the last video that we have a few steps to doing this. The first one, set our equation equal to 0. And we'll start to simplify that by factoring, and then we're going to solve each new expression for the given variable. So in this case we have an equation here. It's not set equal to 0 though, so our first step is going to be setting that equal to 0. We'll do that. You can do it any way you want. I'm going to choose by subtracting 6a from both sides. So I'll rewrite my equation. Minus 3a squared minus 6a is equal to 0. Now we're going to simplify this a bit by factoring. We see we've got a few things in common in these terms. First one, we've got an a, obviously. We've also got some multiple of 3. 3 you could write as 3 times 1. 6 you could write as 3 times 2. And then most importantly, can't forget these, you have negative signs in common. So we know that I can factor out a negative sign, a 3, and an a. Let's pull that out. Now we'll just rewrite this expression. And double check here just to make sure that if you distribute this back in, that you'll get the exact same expression. You'll see that negative 3a times a would be negative 3a squared. Negative 3a times 2 would be negative 6a. Don't forget to set that equal to 0 again. And now you have two equations here. We're just going to solve them for the missing variable. Remember that anything times 0 equals 0. So that means that we have two expressions here. We could have one where negative 3a is equal to 0. We have another one where a plus 2 could be equal to 0. So we'll start solving these. Divide both sides by negative 3. Negative 3 cancels out. And anything, 0 over anything, is just going to be equal to 0. So we have a is equal to 0. Or we'll solve this one. Subtract 2 from both sides. You can see that a is equal to negative 2. We've got two possible answers for this one. And we can, again, just double check by plugging those back in, making sure they work. Let's try a slightly more complicated one. But again, if we just follow these few simple steps, everything should be pretty easy to do.